The Industry Insider is only available at Promo Corner, the leader in digital marketing for the promotional products industry. Each Monday, they discuss, dissect, and debate a single issue impacting the world of promotional marketing from every industry perspective. Now, it's time for Promo Corner's Industry Insider.
Welcome to another edition of the Industry Insider, your promotional products podcast where you can get all the nerdy news you need to know about. My name is Jeff Franklin, National Accounts Manager with Headwear USA. I'm joined today by three other lovely folks, but we want to tell you who we're brought to you today by, and that would be our good friends over at TechWeld. They got USA made in a world filled with worry regarding overseas products. They offer many USA made products to help separate themselves from the promotional product pack. Hand sanitizers due to the coronavirus outbreak. This is something that's trending worldwide still, even with all the vaccines and everything that's out there. It's still very relevant. And CDC still recommends sanitizing and washing your hands to help prevent the spread of the disease. They've got many sanitizer SKUs that can help prevent and combat the spread of the virus. They've also got a lot of FDA compliant products. In the time of uncertainty, knowledge that a product is FDA compliant is key in allowing the customer to feel at ease when placing an order. They've also got a lot of awesome custom packaging, believe it or not. At TechWeld, they like to create new every day. Their custom packaging division is a great example of that. And each box takes on a life of its own, and they can work to meet your customization specifications regarding packaging. So go check them out at techweld.com. Let them know we sent you, and you won't be sorry that you went over there. I can promise you that. They've got a great group of folks and great products. Techweld.com. Why don't we say hi to Stephen McFadden, looking spiffy with the nice hat there, man. How are you?
Yes, man. I thought Headwear was an appropriate choice. I played in my first golf tournament in like 18 to 20 months on Monday, so I had to rock the hat from the event.
Headwear is an appropriate choice. It's ASI's #1 product of the year.
I heard that they won the tournament, didn't they? The bracket challenge.
They did.
Products.
We won Promo Insanity. The March Madness of the promo items. A lot of fun. Anyhow, Meg Gerber, how are you?
Rigged.
I had nothing to do with it.
I'm doing good. I'm actually a little sore from trying to learn a 10-second TikTok dance yesterday because I think I might have done it like 100 times. And the longer the day goes on, the more my legs get so sore.
Yeah, in your hype video, you kind of mentioned that Steven and I were going to be doing a dance off, and I
can't wait for that, guys.
Yeah, we have to smash that right now.
Smash the like button if you want to see them dance, guys. Smash it.
Yeah, we need like 5,000 likes, which I know is not going to happen. So we'll just we'll set the bar there, and when it happens, Steven and I will do it. So, not going to happen.
I did not consent.
You didn't consent?
I'm not consenting.
You got outvoted. Meg and I both said yes.
I don't know, Jill.
5,000 likes.
I think you should do it. I vote yes. Yeah.
Yeah, not happening today, but when we hit 5,000 likes. All right, Jill Albers with BAMCO. How the hell are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks so much for having me, guys.
Yeah, we're excited. We're really excited to talk about what we're going to talk about today, which is basically using social media and to activate an audience. And I know you guys have been killing it over the last several years for sure. And we've got a lot of great examples to talk about there. But before we dive into the topic, why don't we just ask you to introduce yourself, give us a good 3 to 4 minute rundown of all things Jill Albers and how you got started in the promotional products industry. Is always a really great place to start. People from all over the place have different stories. So love to hear it.
Yeah, no problem. So I started in the industry straight out of college. I was a marketing and design degree major from the Modern School of Design in Dayton, Ohio, and moved back to my small hometown of Salina, Ohio, thinking I would, find a job out of college and never look back, never come back, and got an offer to come to Visions Awards. So I was in the marketing, design, and new product development division of Visions, and really learned what promotional products were, because going in, I knew I was designing and developing product lines, but didn't know much about the industry, as I think most of us do when we get here. Other than a very small handful of people, I think they fall into this business a little bit more than planning to come into it. But had a couple great mentors at Visions, including the late Fran Ford, who really, inspired me to love what we do, love the business, really pushed me to go from marketing into sales, and was a big advocate for my switch in that way. And so I was at Visions in multiple capacities for 5 years. Like I said, started, just editing catalogs and doing photo shoots for products. And then they started sending me to the trade shows where I met Miss Megan very early on, and, really got to know a lot of the people and, what this business was about, and took a role in sales about 11 years ago now. Oh. And found my way to BAMCO 3 years ago, and never looking back. Super excited to be here. I can't believe I'm saying it'll be in October, it'll be 3 years, but have been with BAMCO, and we're just moving so fast. This industry is changing so quickly. It's a really exciting place to be right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the one thing that I love about our industry is how versatile we are, how resilient we are. Like, even last year in the middle of a pandemic, I mean, I know you guys had substantial growth last year. And I know not everybody can say that, but for the most part, everybody's still in business. We figured out a way to survive. And several folks have figured out a way to thrive in this situation. But our industry is just so awesome because it's such an integral part of creating and engaging an audience. And I think that's a really good segue into, how to use social media, in today's world to really activate and cultivate an audience. One example, I know, Meg, in your hype video, you sort of hit on the Dunkin' Donuts thing that BAMCO is doing right now. And they've got a co-op with Charlie. Let me see if I can pronounce the last name. Is it D'Amelio? Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Sorry, Charlie.
I did it right. I was hoping I pronounced it right. Yeah. Yeah. You guys just launched this thing. I think on Promo Marketing, there was a huge press release on it. And that's what I was like, I didn't even know who she was. It's not my age group. You know what I mean? I asked my kids and they were like, oh my gosh, she's like this 17-year-old girl who's just so talented. She can dance and she has all these followers. And the hype video went in and I showed how many followers she has. And if you guys aren't on TikTok, I was somebody that was so against it because I'm like, oh, that's my kids. Blah, blah. These people have over 5 million followers. Like, it's just, and then their views have millions of views. I can tell you, we will never get millions of views on these, and it's not because we're not awesome, because we are, but these people have just really been able to grow their clout and grown their following through the presence of TikTok. So to see someone like Dunkin' and some of the other brands that you're working with, like, absorb that and kind of, it's just really exciting to see that. But I'd like to hear some strategy behind that out of you, because this is really cool.
Yeah. I think, like you said, let me throw something. There's a video. It's not necessarily our age group, but we have to target that age group. And it's the fact that, the normal channels of advertising, they're not watching anymore, and they're not seeing. They're not seeing a lot of the things that are on classic TV and the spots and where things used to be launched and released. So it's really talking to that audience and the way that they want to be spoken to. And like you said, 5 million plus followers. There's no other way to obtain that. And there's no other way to build trust with the brand than taking someone that they watch every day and they admire and they look up to and tie the brand to that trusting person. And so, when you're doing a merch release and a launch for that, it has to speak to both brands. It has to speak to the both companies, or if it's a person in the company that you're tying together, the products have to speak to both of them because they're going to engage both audiences, and then really make someone be representing both brands now and like what they're speaking to. So that's really key and integral part is to work with both brands together to get that creative product that matches them.
I think one of the things that you've done really well with these is this limited edition merchandise that is like, people know that it's limited edition, and that's why they have to get it. Like, I think I saw you sold out of, I wrote it down, something within a couple hours or 24 hours. It was Taco Bell onesies or something.
Yeah, Taco Bell onesies, I think it was definitely under an hour, might have been under 30 minutes. The onesies got on Good Morning America and were just gone because everybody wants to wear the sauce packet flavor that they love at Taco Bell. And it just blew up. I mean, they accounted for the promotional marketing for that promotion itself. Obviously, people went to the site and bought the product. So there was limited costs, soft costs, but no hard costs involved with that. They would have had to spend $3 million in other advertising vehicles to get the same amount of views as they did on social with the sauce packet launch promotion.
That's the power of promo right there, man.
Right, it is. And it's not the idea of, okay, we have to hand this out somewhere. It has to be, okay, I want to represent this brand, and this is why I love that brand. Cult following. Why are you going to have a cult following with what you do? It has to be very cool and very on point and specific. So really taking the time to get the right product that is going to resonate with the audience that you're looking to target.
So how does that work from, sorry, go ahead, Stephen. I'll wait.
Oh, you're good.
No, you were going to ask a question. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Jill, I love the idea of using social influencing and people that are maybe not yet connected with the brand and trying to make that match. And there's, I've been seeing the rise with, a Cameo, where people are using that to do, like spokesperson of companies or products. And then there's BuzzSumo. I don't know if you guys are aware of them as well, where you can hire social influencers. And I've always struggled with one thing with this, and it's that, and maybe you can help bridge this gap. When you're not selling to the masses when you use influencers, you're selling to the fans of the influencers. And so there's almost, it's not cheating because it's brilliant, but it's like, they'll buy anything. It doesn't matter if it's great or not, right? I think about the Big Baller brand when they released their stuff, and everyone was like hating on it, but there were still fans of, the BBB, and they still bought $600 pairs of shoes, even if they were bad. It's like, so it's there. You can get sales by attaching yourself to people you like, and it doesn't necessarily have to be good. I think what you guys are doing is great though, where you're trying to find, marketing campaigns that go along with it. So maybe you could speak to kind of the difference of that, right? Having good promo along with connecting it with the influencer to the brand, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. I think I have 2 points to clarify that. So, I mean, good versus great, that's objective. I mean, the people that spent $600 on something thought it was great, or they weren't spending $600 on something. So it might not be your perception because you're in the industry, but whatever it was, it resonated with that person. And that's really the goal. It's not really our goal or our job to tell somebody what is good, what is great, what is relevant. And in a second bucket, I feel like the industry and the world in general is trending towards, I don't want more stuff. I want better stuff. I want stuff that represents who I am and the brand that I'm in. So what are we doing to elevate our game in that way? Because the really yummy hoodie or the really cozy sauce packet onesie, like it will have a little bit of longevity if it's meh. It will have long longevity if the product is great and if we can get there. So I think it's two-sided in that way. And I think that you're really looking for those audiences that you wouldn't have found. You can't do the same thing on Instagram that you're going to do on TikTok, that you're going to do on Clubhouse, that you're going to do on Facebook, that you're going to do on LinkedIn, that you're going to do in old, channels of media, because it all has a different audience for a different thing. So, I think that you really have to work with the brand and with the 2 collab brands to figure out what is that special sauce that makes this collab work or not work. I've seen some fail too. I'm not saying that one's recently, but I have seen collabs out there that didn't necessarily make sense and weren't as effective as they thought they were going to be. So it's really taking the time to understand the target audiences that you're wanting to go with. And most of the time it works the best if the influencer actually loves the product.
Likes it, right?
And they've been using it forever. So if somebody's been using it forever, it's natural for that brand to tap them and say, hey, you're a fan of ours. Jake Owen, Malibu Boats, he was a wake surfer forever. And now he's, working with the wake surfing brand Malibu Boats. That doesn't, if it doesn't happen organically, it doesn't make sense.
Awesome.
Yeah,
have you found a platform?
No, go ahead.
What are the callow?
I was gonna say, have you found a platform that's been most successful as of recently?
Oh, I think it's the platform that's now. I mean, there's gonna be another platform tomorrow and another platform the next day. And like I said, you can't do the same thing on the same platform. So it's really about why people are being drawn to that platform, who is being drawn to that platform, who is succeeding. There's a reason why Charlie is succeeding on that platform. And so once again, there's some magic there, but there's no way we can tap into these size of audiences. Brands, it's just crazy insane. And it's at somebody's fingertips multiple times a day, as many times as these people post. So we've never in the history of marketing seen the availability to get brands in front of people this quickly, ever. It's new and it's exciting.
I think that's, you'd mentioned that, it's about what platform you're on and the target audience that you're trying to approach. Like you said, you're not going to put the same kind of content on LinkedIn as you are on Instagram or TikTok.
Right.
And so I think one of the questions that I have for you is in the case study that you guys list on your website for Dunkin', you guys mentioned about, going in and doing multiple site visits and actually engaging in the clients and looking at the target audience to see who you're really focused on. I mean, how much of that are you guys actually doing? And is there a certain approach that you guys are doing for that? Like, how are you doing that? And then how do you take those results and put it into whatever the platform is?
Yeah, we will be as involved as the customer lets us be. Like you said, for Dunkin' with that case study, hundreds of site visits. And that was not for this specific promotion. It's when we started working with Dunkin', because we were looking at what they were doing and we were looking at what was working and wasn't working, and we will put the time in. Same with Taco Bell. We looked at brands that the people who were buying their product were also buying. So, okay, here's your target audience. Here's things in retail they're going out and buying. We should pair your merchandise line to look similar to the lines or collab with the lines that people are already purchasing, and doing an entire study in that way. So, we want to be at the seat of the table at the highest levels of conversation and marketing, so we can be proactive in bringing these ideas to the table. That's our goal. That's what we do.
Can I ask a question? When you approach things like that, do you ever worry about 4imprint or Amazon or somebody else coming into the promotional market space?
No, we're a completely different business than that. We're very consultative, and they have their niche, and great, good for them. But we're like I said, we're sitting at the table with leaders of their marketing departments, having conversations and being a partner. They understand the value and that we bring to the table, and the fact that, like I said, we consider ourselves an agency that is working with them and partnering with them. So that's not even a thing.
I think Jeff is being
it shouldn't be. That was completely set up to be rhetorical, but okay.
It's literally like a comment on the promotional products group one day, like they took this or they stole my business. It's like, what? I lost all my customers because of you. I heard that yesterday. Literally, it was my fault. And I'm like, and everyone jumped on that. And you know what? It's insane because this isn't I don't even know what to say about this. Yes, he was being facetious, but yes, people need to learn what Jill Albers is doing, because it applies so much. Like, creativity is your goal, and that's what differentiates you from your competition. That's why BAMCO is killing it. You guys are doing stuff that's different. And you're right, 4imprint, those type of customers have their niche. They're good at what they do, but everyone in the industry can't just try to emulate that, because a lot of people can't afford to do what they're doing, with all the mailings and the catalogs and whatever in their e-commerce platform. So you have to differentiate yourself. And what you guys have done is gained so much momentum with this crazy merch, these influencers, these retail brands. I love it. I think it's amazing. I think what you guys have done is next level, and you set the bar very high.
Jill, for clarity purposes, it's not Jill Albers, it's BAMCO. Jill Albers came to BAMCO because what they were doing, and that's that's where that went. I have amazing creative teams. We have amazing sourcing teams. We have amazing technology teams and resources internally that is an engine like I've never seen in our space. So PAMCO came well before for me there, but it's so fun to be in an environment with really hard working creative people who want to go next level and aren't accepting the status quo and what it is. And it's like I always say, know your role, shut your hole. Like, stay in your lane.
In your lane.
Like, what are you doing? What is your goal? Like, everybody else can do the other stuff in the industry. You're not going to do all of it. So that's what we try to do. Stay in our lane and focus on the space that we are killing it at.
Yeah, play your strengths.
So Joe, I know as a distributor, and I look at all the work you guys have done. It's amazing and inspiring. And I wonder too, do you get kind of like what comes first, chicken or the egg here? Is it you have the customer and then you're able to present the crazy ideas, or you get the customer by presenting the crazy ideas? I think a lot of people.
Good question.
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's you can't answer it. It depends on the cycle in which you start talking to people. I've had situations and I've talked to customers for 2 years about what's going on. It didn't resonate, or somebody new came into their organization. He was like, yes, this is right, and we're going to go. And we've been, also, jumping in as the car is already driving down the road and working on it to get it up to speed. So I think that's how our industry works most of the time. You never know. It's never the same sales cycle. It's never the same process. It's very entrepreneurial and creative. And where are we going to go? So the best thing is to continue to have a partnership where you continue to innovate with that brand and you have the ability to have these conversations with them, because majority of the time they're not going to think about it on their own. Because once again, how many social channels do they have to worry about right now? How many places do they have to be advertising right now? What do they have to be doing? And if really sitting down and looking at what they're doing in the next year and plan for this that far ahead, this isn't going to happen. This is not a short period of time to get something like this up and going.
Joe, how do you guys go about, first of all, selecting the right platform for the target audience? And then how do you find, the influencer in that platform? And what does that setup look like? I mean, is it an expensive process? Is it, relatively inexpensive? Does it depend on, give us that rundown if you could.
Yeah, that's hard to talk about too much. A majority of our clients were under NDA, so their internal process is relatively hard to define how they're approaching either a personality or an organization. But it comes back to the data. What is working and not working for them? If it's not working for them, there's probably a reason. You need to go look at that. So if you want to be successful on all platforms, look at what's not working or look at what is working. And then look at the platforms that your target audience is most likely to use and start there. Start there. And once again, start with something organic that is already happening in your business and you're seeing a cult following. A lot of times there's little user groups on these platforms that are, like lovers of Dunkin' group on whatever platform, and there's 200 people on there. Okay, well, what are those people talking about? Let's do some market research to see what they're saying and why they love it. And what's the value proposition? Because there's usually when we have a cult following of a brand or we love a brand, there's that one little thing that does it for us. It's like, nope, we would never change. I would never use anything else because of this 1 or 2 or 3, specific reason. Making sure you looked in and know what those reasons are helps you figure out all those things.
Fair enough. So is that something that each of the individual companies are actually giving to you guys, or is that something that you're more, I guess, bringing to the forefront with the end user? Like if you,
I would say it's 50-50. It depends upon where the client is in their process, how engaged they are on social already. Some clients already have it figured out and they say they want this and then we add value to it. Some customers have no idea and they want us to start, from scratch. So it depends. And all of these can be the same size organizations. You can have a very large organization that is targeting Gen X millennials right now, and they want to get into this bucket. And, they do have some of the most sophisticated marketing teams. but is really brand new to them. Other ones could be startups who got funding that the only place that they advertise it, is here, and they know everything about it already. So, very different scenarios based upon the company that you're working with.
So Brendan Petra had said that influencer marketing is awesome, but very expensive. And that's why you see a lot of larger retailers doing it. Do you have any advice for smaller distributors on how they can use influencer marketing that fits? So I guess, I could immediately say that it doesn't necessarily have to be an expensive process. It depends on who the influencer is that you're using, but could you maybe touch on that at all?
I think it goes back to the authenticity. If somebody's out there, already representing your brand and talking about how they use it, and they love it, they're more likely to be more cost effective in approaching them, and they also see the value of associating themselves with your brand because they're getting free publicity. So I think it's a quid pro quo thing. It's not always expensive if it's good for both people, right, for both brands. So that's the way I would look at it.
I could even give a short little testimony and shout out to our coworker. It doesn't even have to be a huge influencer. Influencers can be a couple hundred to 1,000 people that follow them, not necessarily the Charlies of the world, right? So right. I know Jenna, one of her friends, has a big Instagram following, and they saw those. Was it the what's the sauce pack thing? Oh,
the product of the year.
Dip trip, the dip trip. Yeah. And so she saw those and was like, I want to get these. And she has this brand. And so she ordered a couple hundred and then called back a few hours later, said, I need more than that. Like people just wanted them. So it could be it doesn't have to be a huge personality. It could be just something that sticks. And I think there's a way that there's something there, and it's becoming more and more accessible if you can figure out who those people are and what the need is. So.
Right. And it's a game changer based upon your size. So like you said, it might not be Charlie, it might not be the size of your organization, but what is the goal, in growth,
right,
or in sales of this product, or in views? What is for your brand? That's all it's got to matter. Like some brands are never going to do what we're talking about with Dunkin'. Few are actually, but you can take that and it's scalable and it's replicatable on every level imaginable.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Not every end user is a Dunkin', you know what I mean? So it's a scalable process, and like Stephen hit it on the head, you could find an influencer that has several thousand followers and be just as impactful to your company as, if it scales, then somebody is going with a Charlie and an ex Dunkin' type of situation. So.
Right. And it doesn't have to be B2C either. You could take, an industry legend like Meg Erber, and she could influence a group like the promotional products industry, So it's, our B2B distributor supplier niche has influencers in that group too. And it could change the game for, any company in our space, just the same as it doesn't have to be, like I said, Taco Bell or Dunkin' or whomever. Absolutely.
Do you guys have any other questions?
I did have one because I think this is just a huge thing for BAMCO. You guys posted Q1 sales of $60 million in growth. That's crazy. Is that largely contributed to what is going on with all these merch trends, you think, with social media and everything? Is that where a lot of this growth is coming from?
Because it doesn't hurt. It's definitely not. We definitely, are siloed into different groups, and we try to not have all of our eggs in one basket. You've seen a lot of the distributors who really niche in the travel industry, or really niche in the sports industry, or really niche. So we try to diversify because this is replicable across all types of categories of end users. And so we really try to diversify our book of business. But it's really, I attribute that to great leadership and focusing on what the goal is. And really having a distinct vision for who we're doing, hiring the right people to doing the job, and letting those people excel and grow and make decisions. And that's why I said, that's why I came to BAMCO, because we had all of these things in place, and I hadn't seen all these things in place in anyone in our industry. And so I was super excited to be a part of that engine. And it's just, especially during the pandemic, we were dead focused early on PPE. and then we decided to pivot about halfway through because we knew that trend was not going to last forever. And so we pivoted back to talking about, I'm going to say classic promotional marketing the way that we were doing before early on. We let several people focus on the PPE and turn back to having the conversations about coming back earlier than most did because they wanted to hang on to what that was, not knowing when it was going to come back. And like I said, it's a big ship to turn, but we've turned it and we've navigated. I mean, if you want to look back at the last couple of years, it was tariffs, then it was COVID, it was this. I mean, we haven't had a normal year in almost 2.5 years, people. Nothing is different. And so I don't think you could have the results we've had without amazing leadership. And like I said, and from the top to the very bottom, hiring the right talent to be able to get the job done.
I think in a way, all the different changes and stuff over the last couple of years has been really good for us as an industry because it keeps us flexible, keeps us fluid, and keeps us on our toes. I think growing content is not good for the industry. And so the change is actually a good thing.
Yeah. I think people need to remember who they are aside from the rest of the entire industry. As much as I love the industry and I've, been a part of it for so long, and I love the idiosyncrasies that are the promotional product space. I mean, you have to define who you are. And like I said, stay in your lane and make differentiators because we do share a lot of information. It's very quirky. Not a lot of industries share all this information and are super friendly with the competitors in their space. So you need to know what makes you tick and focus and go get that and go kill it too. I mean, I'm friendly with everyone, but I am on a path to go kill it for BAMCO and make sure that we're different and unique. So I don't know. I think we get comfortable in our space. Absolutely. And I think the minute you're comfortable, you should be worried and looking over the shoulder and say, who's coming for me? Because if you're not changing and you're not growing, then, someone is going to do it better than you one day.
Absolutely.
Yep. 100%.
All right. So rapid fire.
I think we should do rapid fire today.
All right. I'm going first. So I don't want anybody stealing my shit. All right. In the interest of Cinco de Mayo, what flavor margarita are you drinking this evening?
I will be drinking just basic, like boring vanilla classic margarita on the rocks with tons of salt. Nothing fancy.
I'm just going to chime in for Tim Hill here. I don't think we like vanilla margaritas.
I don't need anything
joke
fancy.
from last week.
I just want my Casamigos, my mix, a bunch of lime and ice and salt. I don't need anything else.
Classic margarita. There you go. Yeah. Awesome. Meg Herbert, I know you've got one on your desk already.
I know. So I did the Bella Canvas digital experience the other day, and they sent a whole kit, and it's a chili mango margarita. We had the Casamigos tequila. I didn't get to hang out for the happy hour because it was just well into like my dinner hour here. So I saved it. I put the tequila in the freezer, and hopefully my kids didn't drink it and fill it with water like they've been known to do. And I will have an amazing chili mango margarita later with sugar.
Stephen, I'll accept a Mexican beer if you're not going to have a margarita.
Yeah, I probably won't. But if this is a you must drink margarita, I'd probably go with the jalapeno.
All right, fair enough. Well, in the interest of social media influencers, I'm going to go with my boy Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and I'm going to have a watermelon Monterita.
Okay. All right, I'll go next with my rapid fire question. Who do we think out of Jeff and Steven is the better dancer?
Doesn't matter because we're not going to see the dancer.
Those of you who missed the beginning part of this episode today was not on Facebook Live, and they actually had some breakdancing. So if you missed it, darn, I'm sorry, but maybe
you guys probably should have tuned in.
Should have stretched more.
I think Steven is more open-minded about this. So I'm going to give it to him today.
Wow.
I would have to say that. So Jeff's wife, what's her nationality? She's Latino. What is?
Yeah.
So I would say Jeff. Yeah. Just because of that. That's all. That's literally the only reason. Because of his wife.
Shade.
Fair enough.
Sorry.
Well, believe it or not, that is how I conned my wife into marriage. So, you know,
With your amazing dancing skills.
with my amazing dancing, yeah. I actually no, believe it or not, I was going to say it depends on the type of dancing. If you want me to do the Charlie dance, not going to happen. But you know, if you want to talk some bachata or salsa or merengue or something like that, I'm all for it. Let's go.
That'd be appropriate on Cinco de Mayo.
It would be.
Okay. So, Stephen, who do you think would be the better dancer out of you and Jeff?
Depends on the dance. I would agree. If it's any of the ones he just named, it'll be Jeff, and then I'll take the rest.
All right.
No,
My ego wants to come out so much right now, but I'm gonna.
No, but don't, because they're gonna make you prove it. So
I literally want to
leave.
see one of you do the worm. Like before this is over, just
I think it's
Me too.
a great 50-50. We are even dancers, so no.
I'm
need to
definitely
prove
not.
anything.
you know what would solve this? An actual dance off.
All right, my rapid fire question: if you guys were to go through Dunkin' Donuts, what's the one donut that you have to have?
You know what? I used to really love a good chocolate covered Bavarian cream filled, but they're a little too sweet for me now. So I'm just going to go with a classic glazed, man. My kids love the strawberry frosted sprinkles, though.
I like the little holes because I get a variety and I don't have to choose. I don't have to pick my
You
favorite.
stole mine. Me too.
There are different flavors of the
I love
holes.
the
Which
donut
one?
Holes.
Just the holes.
Yeah,
All of them.
donut
Glazed,
holes.
powdered, chocolate. Which one?
Glazed.
Glazed.
The glazed chocolate ones are pretty good, I guess. You know, if I have to choose.
I'll go chocolate frosted with sprinkles.
Okay.
Chocolate frosted with sprinkles. All right, Jill Aubers, what is your question to the insider or industry insider crew here?
When we get back to normal, what is the most exciting industry event you guys are looking forward to attending? It could be regional, it could be national, it could be a dinner with 3 friends you have at one of the events. It could be any of this.
Well, I'll go since they're thinking about it because I'm actually on 2 committees for 2 different events. So I'd have to say those. Both have yet to be announced. One is going to be announced this month. I'm on the board for Promo Cares, which most of you know, and this month is mental health awareness. So we are going to launch our event by the end of the month, and it is geared for that, and it is for this industry, and it is going to be huge. And we are using influencers, and I'm taking all of the bits that I've learned from all of this and putting it out there. So it is coming soon, everybody, and we are really excited about it. That's all I can say.
Good, Stephen.
I think the easy answer is Vegas. I mean, there's just so, and it's not even just the trade show. I think we've beat that before, but the time like right before the show, like after the show, like that whole period is just awesome. So I'm gonna probably just cheap out and go to Vegas.
Yeah, I'm going to say the one with people and handshakes and fist bumps and hugs. That one.
Got it.
What about you, Jill?
I will be excited for the ASI Power Summit, just with the amount of networking. And, that's really when there's to meet new great people who are doing different things. And, I haven't met before and I don't know before. So I'm really looking forward to a good industry bar, where everybody's mingling and talking after the event and meeting new people you haven't. Because I will admit I've been really bad on the virtual events. I would like to see you in person and, like I said, break bread or have a cocktail or get to know somebody who knows somebody really easily right there. So I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome. All right. Well, you would be remiss if we didn't mention the sponsor again this week. So we were brought to you today by TechWeld. Hopefully you guys had got some really good information out of the podcast today. And just again, brought to you by TechWeld. USA made in a world filled with worry regarding overseas products. They offer many USA made products to help separate themselves from the promotional products pack. You know what? Look, it's summer. Or spring, I should say, but the sun's out, weather's warming up, you're probably looking for a pair of shades to throw on yourself, right? Protect the eyes. So look, TechWeld is the Distributor Choice Awards winner for sunglasses. TechWeld won 2019 Distributor Choice Award in the sunglass category, and they've got many SKUs that are FDA approved and offer UVA and UVB protection. And they've also they've specialized in kits as well. They've got a lot of great kit programs where they've got an initiative to push kits. They've got 8 different stock packaging for their kits. They've got an EVA bag. They've got the PVC tent pouch, PVC tube, an organza bag, the pillow pouch, the BTL 202, which is a 30-ounce tumbler. And they've also got those retro lunch boxes, which are super cool as well. Not many players in the industry are focusing too heavily on kits, so really allows them to hone in on the market for those products and really expand upon their already vast kit line. So go check them out at tekweld.com. That's TEKWELD.com for more information. You will not be sorry that you did. Wow, Meg Gerber, you threw the cap on.
Limited edition merch.
Yeah. Hey, by the way.
Oh no.
Jessica Gibbons Roush says that I guess that means you win the dance competition by default, which is probably true. We're just okay. I'm just gonna give that to her. Yeah.
Congratulations, Meg.
Congrats, Meg. Your trophy's in the mail.
Yeah, I know. I'm like.
All right, guys. Jill, thank you so much for joining us. I had a blast. It's really, really relevant information in today's digital age. So appreciate you sort of steering us through it and helping us out.
All right. Well, thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thanks, Jill.
Guys.
Take care, guys. See ya.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Promo Corner's Industry Insider. For more great content from industry thought leaders, including podcasts, blogs, and videos, visit promocorner.com.